develop yourself first, be happy with yourself first, be loving to yourself first, and then everything will fall in place. Be growing up without male role models, because when I was a kid, all my male role models in my family passed away literally like in the first, I guess when I was 8 through 10, my grandfathers both passed away and my father passed away. So I guess my whole thing was always trying to figure out a way how to kind of develop myself as a person without having a male role model, and then not letting, I guess, the feminine side of my family be too prominent in my upbringing, because I always learned that that would never really help me on both sides of the table. I always wanted to make sure that I had like a balance. So I was always kind of trying to find that kind of masculinity role model or masculinity kind of like approach on things, so that I can actually, develop myself and not miss out on those lessons. As a teenager, I was somebody always looking for opportunity. I was always trying to figure out a way to either make money or to kind of develop myself faster as a human being. I always wanted to find a way to kind of go through life experiences faster, just so, because I always learned early on that the faster you go through a heartache or through a hardship is the faster you grow as a person. Emotionally, it's a little bit frustrating because I know a lot of people probably go through this too. They don't grow up with like a father figure, like a male figure. So it sucks because it's a lot of, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, because you're trying to make the best decision as a man in society, and you're trying to take care of your family, and not knowing how to do that. You're not knowing truly what the value is of being a man, or the like a role model as a male in a household really is, especially in this world. It's so like, there's so many ideas and stuff like that. It's just hard. It's a lot of pressure. It does, I think growing up as a kid, it does give you a lot of anxiety. It does give you a lot of, you become a little lost, which really sucks. I think I literally could have been a little bit, in my mind, I would think it would always been easier. But reflecting back on it, I don't think it would. I think it's perfect how it is. I think it's how you just being so oblivious to things sometimes, I think is the best way, because you're not getting kind of injected with different opinions and different examples. You had to literally find what worked for you, even though it gives you a ton more anxiety and it's much more frustrating, but you literally picked and choose what you truly thought was the most beneficial. Again, I think it's just from not having someone to relate with or talk to growing up, as I guess like as like a boy, as a child, like a guy growing into a man as a kid, speaking to your mother and stuff like that, she's not gonna really understand certain things. So you literally learn to internalize a lot, and then I guess from internalizing, it becomes more overthinking. It becomes a lot of, you start developing things where, instead of expressing yourself and being able to kind of talk to somebody about like certain topics, you kind of just let it sit in your head, which I think is the worst thing you can do. I think it's all about being like super vulnerable and just like telling people, hey, look, I'm curious about this. What is your opinion on it, your take on it? But as a kid, you don't think about that. You're not thinking about, hey, just talk to somebody about it, or just tell someone this, or ask them this. So I think that's what happened. So I started internalizing it. So a lot of things, like, I become very like, not only nervous, but more, I guess I would be very self-conscious, or very, very like overly aware of everything, which really caused a lot of like just again, your tension in the body, and you wouldn't be comfortable in a lot of situations. So it definitely, again, it did push me to grow to another level of person, but there is definitely different ways to let off that steam that I wish I would have known about. So difficult point was probably when I really had to like transition from the story I had been telling myself of, I had to like become the the provider, or the person for my family, and the hardworking individual, and I had to make money to make everybody happy and survive in my family, to that's not really what's important in life, which was when I was probably like 21, 22, around there. And my mind was just exploding. It's like you lost your entire reality and everything, your habits, your routines, everything that I was kind of like identified myself with, I had to literally let go of. And that was tough because you're left again in complete blank. Like you're completely left in a point where everything starts from scratch, but with a conscious, right? Like with experience and stuff like that. So I think that was the hardest part for me, where I had to literally find out, truly do some soul searching and say, hey, what do I truly love and enjoy, and what do I really want out of life, and what can I do every single day that's gonna make me happy, and how can I enjoy the world and provide to the world, and still be a contributing person and still have a great life and be happy and be, again, provide a service and have an income and stuff like that. So that was probably my difficult point, identifying what my true purpose was. I literally told myself, after tons of like crazy headaches and crying and like many of lots of negative thoughts and all that stuff, eventually it all subsides, and I literally like just had a lot of faith in where I was going and who I was going to become, and I knew my intention was good. I know at the end of the day, if I had a great intention, everything is going to be all right. Like that's my number one thing. If you have good intention when you do something, even if you feel you're being rude or mean, as long as I know I was trying to do it with a good intention, it's okay. And I just asked myself, I was like, if I had all the resources in the world, let's say not only money, just I had like just opportunity, like just things, material or non-material, like the ability to make someone smile in a heartbeat, make someone laugh, make someone feel good, be able to jump on a plane, be able to make something grow out of the ground, whatever it is. If I had everything in the world, what would I do every single day that'd make me happy? Like if I can close my eyes right now, what I would do every single day to make me happy? And that was literally like, I would definitely do something that involved like keeping people healthy. I definitely do something that kind of gathered people together, like an event. I'd want to provide some kind of service where I can be very creative and create new things like every single day. Like, if I want to create a roller coaster that you have to go through a fire hoop in, because that was the fun idea of the day, I want to be able to incorporate that all into kind of some kind of organization and all that. So I came to that realization. I was like, just being creative, bringing people together, providing a positive impact so everybody learns from it, and just kind of like somehow creating that into like a business model, so I can wake up every single morning, still make money off of it, enjoy my day and all that stuff. So something like that. I think my ideal, what a man should be, would definitely back then was it needs to be a provider, someone that kept the family glued together. So I think the idea came from when I was a kid. I would always hear that my father was the one that kept the family together, and that kind of gets like sat in me, and then kind of like gets manifested into my story. But I do remember the minute that my father passed away, kind of the family disbanded, and there wasn't so much togetherness, and everyone was kind of secluded into their own little groups. So I always felt like I had to bring everybody together, had to make that glue, and I had to become that kind of ideal, that kind of man of a household and provider as well, because I saw my mom struggling so much. So I was like, okay, that's missing, and this is missing. That's the missing picture of a male figure. But it's funny. The biggest thing that I learned as far as being a real man of a house, and especially now, this is my, I guess my ideal is, it just needs to be someone that is truly in tune with themselves and who they are. I think that's the biggest thing, because that's what's going to rub off on the entire family. If you're someone that looks very grounded, that has life put together, you know who you are, you know what you believe, and you know where you're going, I think that's what's going to magnetize everybody to come together again, because it's a rock. That's what a foundation is. Someone that is loving, someone that is giving, someone that isn't getting swayed from different opinions and stuff like that. I became a person that is now learning to enjoy life more, with at the same time balancing being a productive individual in society, right? So I think, and again, it's still never perfect. I think it's always going to be a journey, learning and developing. But I think the seed that was planted in me was definitely enjoy what I'm going to be doing every day, and not only do it for materialistic reasons or for other people's reasons, doing it for myself. And as long as I'm doing that every single day, even though I get off track sometimes, I think that's the most important thing. The road and the journey is crazy, but as long as I know I'm focused on still giving a good intention when I, speak to somebody, still kind of creating something every single day, and still being a good human being, and just kind of like attacking life with enthusiasm, I think I'm on the right track, you know? That's what I think I would really tell myself when I was a kid. I'd say, hey, listen, it's not about really being just a provider and the glue, it's also finding out who you are and really developing yourself to the point where you're not swayed by different things in life. Develop yourself first, be happy with yourself first, be loving to yourself first, and then everything will fall in place.